All right, welcome to my research project. It's about class size and teacher-student ratio in ECE. I chose this particular issue because a lot of studies say that a smaller class size and a greater teacher-student ratio is very beneficial. However, some say it doesn't matter. Let's start with the class size versus student teacher ratio. Basically, a class size refers to how many students in a particular educational setting, where a student teacher ratio has to do more with how many teachers per each student. In this slide, I kind of talked about what I basically found out from the studies, which is that class size and staff to child ratio, when it's greater staff to child ratio, it improves the quality of the educational environment, but also just in general, the outcome for the children. In particular, gains in receptive knowledge, receptive language, general knowledge, cooperative behavior, and verbal initiative. And they showed less hostility with interactions with others, including teachers. Project STAR stands for Student Teacher Achievement Ratio. It's a group in Tennessee, done a lot of research on this, and they found out that in all smaller classes versus larger classes in any grade, that the smaller classes students do better on achievement tests. Not saying that achievement tests tell the whole story, but that's got to be a good thing. We don't want them failing. And then this slide has some state preschool programs set no limits on class sizes. While most do, some don't. It makes you wonder why. But small class sizes, in fact, offer health and safety benefits for our children. They are healthier, they are safer, they are exposed to less germs, and they don't get sick as much. That's good. One particular study said, hey, there could be cost saving with the size reduction if they do it right, because it offers opportunities for efficient allocation of staff. And they talked about reduced turnover rate, for example. So basically what I first initially got was a lot of positive, just saying that these smaller class sizes, better, greater teacher ratio were beneficial, but not all of the studies said that. One study said that only child to teacher ratios of 7.5 to 1 or lower, or class sizes of 15 or fewer, very small, very low, were linked to any benefits, and that those benefits weren't even that large. Educational Evaluation and Policy Analysis, which is a well-known print, said, hey, it's not cost effective to reduce these class sizes because a lot of these programs trying to do so already have limited funds, which I understand most do. I'm lucky enough to work at La Familia, the family center in Fort Collins, which we have board members who take care of us, but that means we have a program like Head Start, which is just tended to have, which is created to have these, lower class sizes and ratios. And another study said, hey, you can't do it. You can't find enough qualified teachers these days to do a program like that with so many children. And that I understand. I think it's a fact that we don't have enough qualified teachers with the growing number of students, because I've heard stories of programs hiring unqualified teachers, teachers without credentials. But I'll go back and just, reiterate that close-knit communities of children have better outcomes than larger group settings. And because the studies confirm these gains, I know it's difficult, but we got to find a way to do this. It's not impossible, because we will have improved relationships from it. Because when there's a smaller student-teacher ratio, teachers can interact more with each child individually and tailor instruction that meets each child's needs, because we know that every child is different. I talked earlier about greater cognitive outcomes, gains in vocabulary, letter recognition, pre-literacy capacity, math skills, spatial reasoning, just all across the board, good stuff. Better social emotional results. Children with more teachers in smaller classrooms feel safer, more confident in that feeling of autonomy. They feel more included and emotionally involved in the smaller groups. And, gotta go back, reduced behavior correction. Anyone who's taught or volunteered in ECE knows that you get those unwanted behaviors. And especially in ECE, when one child falls, so do 5 others. That's just kind of how it works. And And you see, that's, if you got a smaller classroom, you're going to have a reduced, it's going to be less. So my opinion, after all, learning all this, it states that we should indeed limit student-teacher ratios in early childhood education in order to produce better results teaching our young students, because that is what it's all about. Thank you for listening to my assignment.